15th Doctor actor Ncuti Gatwa gives his own theory about the mysterious Mrs. Flood, Anita Dobson, and her potential origins ahead of Doctor Who Season 14. Gatwa stepped into the role of the latest Time Lord incarnation in the closing act of the third 60th anniversary special, The Giggle, before meeting Millie Gibson's companion Ruby Sunday in 2023's seasonal special, The Church on Ruby Road. The episode introduced Mrs. Flood, Ruby's next-door neighbor who surprisingly knows the Time Lords and their secrets. As Gatwa prepares to lead Doctor Who Season 14 in May, the actor opened up to Doctor Who magazine, via radiotimes.com, about his own lingering questions from his Doctor's debut story. Alongside Gibson, Gatwa believes that Mrs. Flood may be more familiar to the Doctor than audiences realize, speculating that she may be a former companion. Check out Gatwa's response below. Could Mrs. Flood be a former companion? Mrs. Flood theories also speculate she could be a former Doctor or an older Ruby Sunday. So far, Mrs. Flood remains a total mystery. The character only appeared in a handful of scenes throughout The Church on Ruby Road and had a few interactions with the Doctor and Ruby. Alongside her surprising fourth wall break in the episode's final moment where she reveals her awareness of the TARDIS, she also encourages Ruby to step on board the craft, wishing her good luck. With Dobson confirmed to be a mainstay in Gatwa's era, it is clear that audiences haven't seen the last of Mrs. Flood. Should Mrs. Flood be a former companion, there are few returning characters she could be, as most of them have been accounted for. One possibility could be that Mrs. Flood may be a regenerated Susan, having left behind her life in the post-Dalek invasion of London in the 22nd century. Alternatively, it has been speculated that Mrs. Flood could be a future version of Ruby, having made her way to the past, aware of why she was left on the church doorstep and needing to help set her life's events in motion. The mystery of her identity may be a drawn-out storyline with the 15th Doctor, and possibly the majority of Russell T Davies' new era of Doctor Who. The returning showrunner had already set up numerous storylines with 2023's special that established plotlines for future episodes, including TARDIS mysteries, new enemies, and unit expansions. As such, Mrs. Flood's identity may be something audiences will have to wait for multiple seasons to see just how much she knows about the Time Lord's secrets.